let's move on to the next segment here. We'll talk about what's the best part of being on the show. What's the best part of being on the show?
Well, I can take that first.
Okay.
The best part for me has been, honestly, it's been being a part of the group and getting all of your coaching and your feedback, but also being a part of the whole community, the Futur community. And
you're talking about the pro group again?
Well,
or a different group?
The Facebook group, just going onto the Facebook groups that you have online.
I see.
Has been really helpful. And then, yes, the pro group has been really helpful as well. And one of the things I wanted to ask Melinda was just some tips about, how I can really utilize being part of that group and getting the most out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you want me to answer this question first, or?
Sure. She just asked you a question. I have to play along.
Yeah, I wanted to see, Melinda's perspective.
Yeah.
Besides your coaching, the pro group in particular, I have found it's really helpful to get a peak performance partner. So someone that you meet with weekly, even a couple people, because being on the show, I had a lot of people that did reach out to me to be partners with. So there are a couple people that I do meet with weekly.
So you meet with a couple people.
A couple people, yeah.
On the phone, right?
Yeah, so Skype or Google Hangouts. So some type of video conferencing. And if they live close, then once in a while we would meet up.
So you haven't limited it to just one?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
Because, and I found it helpful because listening to how one person implemented, say, the strategy, and then the other person, how they're learning it and understanding it, has really helped just see how different people learn it and how they also explain it, and it's helped me understand it better.
Hopefully I have the time. And do you find it takes up a bunch of your time,
Yeah,
having more than one? Or
it does, but we also say, hey, we only have this amount of time to meet, and we're very respectful of each
How
other's
much time is that supposed to be?
It's supposed to be 30 minutes.
But
it does go over.
You don't stick to it.
We don't.
I give you all these rules to help you.
You get in trouble for going over?
Yes. No, you don't. What happens is you get burnt out.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Could you get burnt out if I have multiple people and I'm like?
Well,
it does feel overwhelming.
I also don't always meet with those people every single week, and that has helped too. So if we do go over, say, an hour, that we don't always meet every single week either, because we have meetings and we have work and we will get burned out. But there are specific, for me, at least in this time of what I'm learning, there are specific things I really want to know, and it does take more time than just 30-minute check-in. That if I was just running with things and not really digging into deep concepts, then it would, I think, be easier to do just 30 minutes. But because I'm really trying to implement new things and understand it, that things have been taking longer. But again, we don't always meet every single week. And the other thing is, once in a while, getting on group calls with maybe 4 people and having, say, 2 sets of peak performance partners coming in and either doing strategy on each other for each other's businesses or on a certain topic that we're trying to learn. So reaching out to other people, getting to know them, and then learning from each other.
So the group calls, how do those work?
Oh, you've not been on a group call?
I haven't.
You mean on a pro call? Oh.
I'm still trying to figure my way around how everything...
Okay.
I've been poking around, looking at articles, watching the video.
Yeah, I was reluctant to add you to the group.
It's only been a week.
I want to be honest, because I don't want to throw too much at you and then get you all frazzled out, right? At a certain point, I knew Melinda was ready to join the group, and then she was added to the group. But for you, I was thinking, I don't know if this is too much for you at the same time. And so I would say just don't worry. Take in whatever content you feel is fine. But if you really want to get value out of the group, you would show up on Wednesday. It happens at 8 a.m. And we would do a call together. And there's an agenda and an event calendar thing that's set up already. And that
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. Unless I'm traveling.
Okay.
Every Wednesday we do it at 8 a.m.
Okay. And I think you were traveling last week, so did you?
That's why I did not do it.
Yeah, so that's why. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
But if you want some more nuanced based direction or feedback, that would be the time. And then it's a much bigger group. It's like 30 plus people that get on the call, sometimes as many as 75.
And do you tape those?
They're all recorded.
They're all recorded. So I can watch it after.
You can.
Okay.
But I think it's different watching it after than it is to participate in it. Your engagement is different, like the way your brain functions.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I would have to completely agree with that.
So we find that the people who, look, I'll say this, and this is a broad statement about everybody, not just people in the group. They're the people who do what they think they need to get done, and there's people who think about doing what it is that they need to get done. In the pro group, it's the same way. There are people who will just do the work and see results, and we see them posting. I'm 100% close ratio. I'm doubling my rates. I'm quadrupling. I'm 10 times, a tenfold, 10 magnitude of the rates I'm getting, because they just apply. I kind of feel like if you're too smart, you have problems. If you're too dumb, you have problems. But if you're smart but dumb at the same time, that to me is the perfect combination. I'll tell you what I mean. Like, you're smart, like you can figure things out to fill in the gaps, but you're not too smart that knowing so much inhibits you actually from doing something. You're almost like too dumb to fail, like you just go for it. And that's the people who have the most results, because you'll look at their work and you'll sit there and question, like, my goodness, their work is not that good. I do much better work.
I get it.
I think what you're saying is to just do it. Just do it. Do the work.
Right.
You've got to do it.
Think about this. If on the first time I told you go talk to strangers and you did it, where would you be now?
A little further ahead.
Maybe.
Knowing.
Maybe more. If I told you the first time, get on Behance, get on Pinterest, get on Twitter, start upping your social game, reinvent this, and you did it, where would you be now? So that, believe it or not, there are people foolish enough to do exactly what I tell them to do, and they see results almost immediately. There's people who send me messages, total strangers, who say, I didn't understand it, I just did it, and to my surprise, it worked. When I asked the client for double the budget, they didn't say anything. And I got the job. It's like that. You can be there is such a thing as being too smart for your own good. You question everything. You wonder why. Okay. Was that enough?
Yeah, so now I'm just going to go on to Behance. I'm not going to question it anymore. I'm just going to
just
go in
do,
and put all those,
just do it. Start
meditating. Why am I meditating?
Well, you can keep thinking it's stupid, or you can get results either way.
So I'm going to
But you can't do both. You
it.
can't do both.
Okay.
All right. What has been the best part of being on the show?
The best part about being on the show, knowing you and being exposed to how you think. So your mindset is not common, I would say. It's not a mindset that I find that some people that I know have that type of mindset, but not a lot. And so just that exposure to how you think and how you approach business and life has been really great. That has been so helpful in helping me in changing my own mindset. The other thing would be the community that has come from this. So all the people that reach out, the people in the pro group, and because I'm on the show, people feel like they already know me. So when they reach out, it's like, hey, long lost friend.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But tell me more about you, because I know nothing about you.
Yeah,
right?
like, that's cool, but who are you?
Right.
Yeah, so that, building the community and that network because of the future. Those two things are
it's a lot of good positive energy.
Yeah. Well, and it helps sustain me in priming the pump. So I have this picture of it's myself. I'm a ship, and I'm going in one direction, and now you have shown me a better way, and I'm slowly turning that ship.
It's like the Titanic.
it's like turning the Titanic
right.
a different direction. But in that, I feel because of the community, because of yourself, that I have the encouragement and everything I need to keep persevering and going. Because without that, like, I'm done. I'm gonna go get a full-time job, or I'm gonna go accept the low-paying jobs. But I have the encouragement now, and I see people doing really well that have implemented things.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, I have hope. I see that it's possible, and so I'm gonna keep doing it, even though I do feel that there's a slight dip in the money coming in for now, because I feel that I am investing. Like, it's like I'm in my MBA, that I'm getting my master's, I'm spending this time to invest in learning, but I also have the hope and I see what's possible, so I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, there are those days where you just you're like, maybe I am gonna start looking for a full-time job. I am gonna go back to the agency work. I'm gonna start looking, but then you go back to the community and you see, you post some work, or you post your new website and you get positive feedback, and you think, okay, I'm going to keep at it. I'm just going to keep at it. But it's hard. Some days you just want to kind of just go back to that secure paycheck and where you have the support of the entire agency.
Well, let me just say a couple of things. One is, there's nothing wrong with being an in-house designer.
Oh, I know. No, I
Nothing
know.
wrong. I just want to say it to the internet because I don't want everybody to think Chris poo-poos on us because we're not an entrepreneur. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's great. I loved it when I did it. It's just I want to move past that now at this stage in my life.
Yes.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay, this is not a knock on anybody. There are lifelong creative directors that are part of an agency and never venture off on their own. Nothing wrong with that because they give you what you want, and if you can design it to work for you, perfect. We've said this before, entrepreneurship is not for everybody that wants to be an entrepreneur. It takes a certain mindset. It takes a lot of commitment and work and perseverance and determination. You have to be able to be committed to making this thing work. Now, I do want to address the whole mindset thing. You describe it like you're like walking over a hot coal. It's like, without the support of the community, I can't take another step. Woe is me. And it sounds like that, right? And it also sounds like the way that you see your own vessel, the vessel of your mind, it's like this big, slow-moving thing. I don't see my mind like that, and I'm an old dude. I see my mind as like a kayak. Okay, I got 2 paddles, like, oh, what's that? Okay, let's go over there. Oh, that didn't work out, let's back pedal, let's go over here. You have to be nimble. We talk about being malleable in the mind. What is your creative flexibility? Just like one day you're gonna be asked to do like a Russian constructivist style that you're like, oh, that's kind of not my thing. I'm like delicate marks, very refined, and then just go for it. Like to me, being a creative person means I can be fascinated and intrigued and interested in many, many things, and the amount of things that I'm interested in is only limited by my own mind. I can do all that. So when I get a new piece of information, rather than sit there and look at it like, oh my God, it's another thing I gotta master, I'm like, wow, I have one new tool I did not know about before. I'm loving this right now. Mm-hmm. So here's a little story. My wife comes into my office. We both have a home office outside of this office. She's downstairs, I'm upstairs. She sees me, I just got back from Max. I'm already on my computer, Adobe Max. I'm on my computer, I'm working on stuff. Making stuff, and she sees all the sketches. She's like, when did you do that? I did it last night. Like after you got home from this convention? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, my mind's like burning right now. I gotta get this out on a piece of paper. She goes, how do you, like, your hands don't hurt? I said to her, honey, I've been working for 22 years. My hands do not hurt. If they were to hurt, it would have hurt a long time ago. It's because, first of all, I make sure everything is perfect ergonomically to my body. And I have a way of working that doesn't hurt me at all. She's been doing this 30-day challenge. She's like, my hand's on fire. I can't do this anymore. I'm so looking forward to ending this. Like, I got 5 more days. This is my last week. I'm just like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So what I'm talking to you guys about is changing the mindset. This is not a chore. This is forever. This is life. This is eating. This is breathing. This is living.
Well, I will say I'm excited. I mean, I definitely go into work every day, even though there's not a lot of paying jobs right now, but when I go in, I'm excited to do all the work. Every day is very exciting, so I just keep at it.
Yeah. And I want to say this. When we first started doing strategy, I put in my mind, I want to charge $10,000 to do strategy, and it took 9, 10, 11 months for it to happen. Consistently getting no. No, can't afford it. No, no, maybe. Maybe? Yes. Undeterred. I'm gonna go for like the Terminator. I'm just coming for Sarah Connor. I'm just doing it.
So what did you do in the meantime in those 9 months?
I ran a company. It was all fine. I had some runway. I was just developing a new area of business. So for both of you guys, you have business that you're doing today. I'm not saying throw those out, continue to service them, but be working on your MBA, be practicing with a group, learn new skills so that the new clients that come in will be on a whole different level for you, on a whole different stratosphere. And that's what you want.
When I described the ship, wait, can I go back to that really quick?
Yes.
It's also from, I think, leaving the order taker mentality and transferring to the consultant.
It's a big change.
It is a big change, and that's the change that I'm specifically talking about.
Okay.
And it's not every single change I have to implement.
I can understand. It must be a lot for you.
For me, it's a massive change because it completely disrupts, in a good way, all of my interaction with my clients in every way. And so that's where it feels like I'm completely changing course.
Right.
Because I am.
Right. So for me, when I went to school and studied graphic design, traditional print design, I was planning on doing editorial layout. I was hugely influenced by Neville Brody, and then afterwards David Carson and Rudy Vanderlans and Luana Zucco. I really wanted to do editorial because I was thinking, and that is the purest form. I can use type and all that kind of stuff. Then I bumped into this little class called After Effects, and then dropped everything, went into After Effects and did that thing. And so we're animating, and then discovered that people would let us shoot live action, dropped all that and started learning about live action. So this ability to just shed and change gears, and you're right, when I learned about strategy, about how to do it for web, I was thinking, wow, this is amazing. Dump all the other stuff. Now I'm consumed with learning this new thing. And each time I'm telling you, if you do it well, you just add so much more to who you are and what you have to give to the world. It starts with the mindset. Like, I look forward to doing these things. I don't dread them.
I agree.
Right?
I look forward to
So you got to just dive
yeah.
in, and you're going to do really, really well. You'll do really well. I promise you if you do the work. And you were talking about this as a disruption in the entire way that you've thought about design and what you can do in the service industry. And this is the mission that I'm on. I'm so happy to see you do this, because we're not going to be able to recognize you in a year from now. I mean, you'll still look the same, but we're not going to be able to recognize the way that you speak, the kinds of services you're offering, and we'll be able to look back at this kind of timestamp, a moment frozen in time, and say, wow, I can't believe I said that. Look at where I'm at today. And that's there for you. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can, because I've already seen some changes too. And I had mentioned, I think in the pro group, that a couple calls I had, I was asking different questions, and both of the clients said, oh, wait, you're more of a consultant.
Nice.
Or, oh, you're a strategist.
Wow.
I was like, I could hug you right now. So just hearing their reaction is so different from what it was before, because my focus is different. The goal is completely different.